just a little bit of that.
Can you jump?
And welcome back. It's the Early Morning Sunday Show, a show where in blues we trust. Yeah. And we're going to show some blues today. I got brand new music from Australia. Oh, what the hell do I got here? Some VCLT. Oh, I have a cool bootleg, pornographic. I'm baiting you of sex. And music from Peru, music from Liverpool, and music from Detroit, plus an album I finally listened to that I've been putting off, and it's special. That's all for you guys. So there we go. Cheers. The opening was a Nebraska parade, baby. All right. That's what parades are all about in small town America. Last week we went to York. My niece was getting married, so most of my family was there. One of my brothers having some health issues. I guess we're at that age now in life. Not life or death, but he couldn't travel. So we went there, and the wedding was in the afternoon. We're trying to say, well, what to do now? It's a town, about 8,000 people, which in Nebraska, that's kind of a metropolis. So let's go downtown. Well, they had a big celebration going on, and they had a parade. So there you go. I wanted to give you a sample of what a Nebraska parade is really all about. And here's the key. You have to have tractors. You have to. Now, you always used to have horses, but I think because horses were crapping all over the street, and then the marching bands were walking through them, they got rid of them. Then they began putting horses at the very end. But then it comes to the fact that, well, I don't want to clean up that poop. Now, some places put bags behind their horses' butts. Yeah, I think they just thought it's just easier. No horses this year, so no horses. But there's a lot of bands there. I was pretty impressed, and old cars, and you have to have fire trucks, and then everybody who has a business that has a vehicle that has some type of advertising, you got to get on there too, okay? I mean, so every, mom and pop business, with a vehicle, hey, we're waving and throwing candy. Though a lot of people bring the candy to you, because if you throw it, a little kid may run into the street to get it and get ran over, or you can get hit in the head and sued. Some people were still throwing. Thank God for them. So, yeah, it was pretty good. But I just thought you guys should see a parade. All right, so let's begin. And I got VCLT come in. I have a couple. I have another VCLT 2 to show. This one was a super big surprise. And it came from my friend Zonk Man. The Mr. and Mrs. Zonk Man, Steve and Stacy Bender. And he sent me 3 King Buffalo albums. And this really blew me away. Steve had sent me a King Buffalo album earlier in the year, if you remember. And I loved it. I just thought, God, he's been talking about this group forever. He has been bragging about this group. Well, they released their own albums. I hadn't seen anything, but I really hadn't gone looking. And then I listened to it. He sent me one. And it was amazing. I loved it. And so I put it on my list. And every time I go to a record store, I'm looking for these King Buffalo albums. Well, they're hard to come by because they release them themselves. So you may find one. So Steve decided to help me out. And we will be showing these later. So we have here, look at that, King Buffalo Acheron, I guess. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty trippy looking. King Buffalo, Longing to be the Mountain. And here we have Death Star. And so this music, it's, Steve will say it's stoner rock. And a lot of it's kind of mysterious, kind of spacey sounding, others more rocking, and he sent me a beautiful note here, and really nice stuff. You know, yeah, very cool. And just talking about each of these. One of these was recorded in the caverns in New York. So I will be going through and reviewing these. I finally got to listen to them. It's just been, I haven't been sleeping well or whatever, and I'm exhausted every night. Got back to stretching again before I go to bed last night, and I actually slept pretty good. So yeah, it's great stuff here. And Steve, this blows me away. You can't find these. You can't find these King Buffalo albums. And Steve and Stacy have been long-time watchers of my channel, which I most appreciate. And Steve started a channel. Please check it out. They'll give you the information there. Really, just a great guy. I met him down in North Carolina. Sure, he wasn't able to make it. And I just had a wonderful time. He is just a top-notch guy. I truly enjoyed my time with him, along with everybody else in North Carolina. Okay, so let's begin now with something I bought. This is from Australia. I had to order this from Australia, and it came in. It's Vinyl Douche. Got me to get this one again. Thank you, Vinyl Douche. Sam. The name of the group is Straight Arrows, and I believe of this. They've been making other albums. I can't remember which one this is, but it's called Surface World. Kind of cool artwork. Here we go, and writing a canon. We can say different things about that. The vinyl, very electric blue, absolutely electric. And then there was this. I got this in here too. Okay, hold on. I got to pull it out. It was in my sleeve. And I'm just screwing that up. We got, Don't Blame Me, I Voted for Straight Arrows. Okay, well, we won't. Very kind of mimicking. And they gave me, thanks very much, Steve, from the SA. That's Straight Arrows. This paper, this is Australian paper. I mean, I think it's my first Australian paper. No, I take it back. Dean used to send me. Remember Dean, Grandma's Handbag? He sent me some stuff, and I had Australian paper. But yeah, you can tell that there's a difference. It feels down under type paper. Very nice. I'm sure the band wrote that together. Okay, so the Straight Arrows, they're out of Sydney. They formed in 2007, so they've been around. The lead man was Owen Penglis. It was Penglis, vocals, guitars, and that. And he began recording this music after he'd been kicked out of various bands. I guess he's hard to get along with. I guess he kept getting kicked out of bands, so he thought, well, I'll just record my own stuff, damn it, and I'll show you all. And so he has, and this is it. Well, along with some other albums. The music, psychedelic garage punk. That might be an easy way to kind of classify it, as we love to do. It is their fourth album. I remember that this is the fourth album that they have put out, and Sam the Vinyl Douche really liked it. Great channel. If you want to learn about new music, you're not going to have new heavy metal or anything, but especially some new psych, some new jangle pop, that kind of stuff coming. Sam is the man. This is just, it's filled with hooks, lots of hand claps, and distorted guitar lines, just packed in here. It's just kind of these reverb soaked guitars playing. It checks off my boxes of stuff that I really like to listen to. The very first song, Fast Product. It's just like this burst of energy. It just it comes out with these sharp guitars. So right out of the gate, the very first song, just like bam, just blows you away. Very cool. Then it goes into like City Ranger, and it's a little darker, more gritty type guitars happening. but still just this wonderful sound. I am absolutely not explaining this album whatsoever to help you, so we will throw samples as always. There was one, what was that one? Walking Through My Mind. Yeah, Walking Through My Mind. It was just filled with these swirly reverb happening, jangly riffs. Very, very cool. This is filled with 2 to 3 minute garage power pop type songs. 2 to 3. They're all very short. You know, the album's only 30 minutes in total length. But yeah, it's really, really good. I totally enjoyed it. I got this off Bandcamp is where I ordered it. Came fairly quick, considering it was coming all the way from Australia. Those Australians ship fast, and their post office moves it along. So yeah, wonderful stuff. So Final Douche again. Okay, got this from Radio Wasteland. Now we're trying to put up, I'm going to try to put a finger in the right spot. My finger's about the size of what you're going to see there. Iggy Pop. Well, he's well endowed, okay? So this is a bootleg, as you can see, all right? And look at that. Okay, and this is cool. It's an older bootleg. This is from the bootleg is even from 77. It was recorded in a concert. It's a German bootleg, and it's recorded from the crowd, okay? So it's not the greatest recording, but it's not terrible either. You know, sometimes some of these crowd ones, you hear the crowd, all you hear is the crowd screaming, yelling, and all that kind of crap. This one you don't. But we got one side is Iggy singing, one side is Bowie singing. So we got Iggy and Ziggy. You know, this is when they were really hanging out together, and they played this concert in Seattle. Yeah, so side ones, well, you can't tell what side one and side two are. I guess they do say here, they tell you there. Whoopsie. I don't know if they're, I guess I've shown enough soft porn in my, I'm still here, folks. This is pretty good. It's a little bit muted at times, you know, but you can still hear the power of the band out there, and they're sounding, you know, they sound actually pretty good. This is during the time when Ziggy was rescuing Iggy, and so on side one, this is where Iggy's really taken over. Does Raw Power, Medley, 1969, No Fun, 96 Tears, and Gimme Danger. Side two, in comes David Bowie, who has handcuffs on. He sings Calling Sister Midnight, Search and Destroy, I Want to Be Your Dog, and China Girl. So, yeah, and on those, you know, they trade vocals and stuff. So, it was just kind of cool. Jim got this in at Radio Wasteland there in Midland, and I grabbed it. Well, he had to send it to me, so I thought, wow, this is really neat. So it's just, you know, taped on, just this paper's taped on here. This is a classic bootleg, just a classic. So, yeah. Did I need it? Probably not, but it's just kind of cool. let's go to Peru. And we have the group Traffic Sound. And this is their second album and their last album, I do believe, called Virgin. From Peru, I think Lima, not Lima. Lima's a bean, Lima's a capital. From 67 to 72 when they were around. And what we have here is Peruvian rock, kind of psych rock, but yet there's folk rock in here, and maybe even some touches of prog, I would say. And the second album, Virgin, came out in 1970. There's the inside. There is a little hypey sticker there for, yep. And this came with, this is really nice. Get it out. Had this nice book to really talk about a group that you probably don't know about and how they formed, what they did, how the making of the album. I do love when we get these little bit extras thrown in here. I've had this one for a while, just haven't got, I always have a lot of albums I haven't shown, and I just kind of keep trying to dig them out because we only do one Sunday show. And the vinyl is black. Okay, so what you're getting on here is a blend of, like I said, psychedelic with Indian folk, prog, and I said some prog. It's also sung in English, which is to me kind of a surprise. Manuel Sangualiti, it sounds like an Italian name, doesn't it? They're from Peru, though. He has almost like a Jim Morrison type vocal style to his voice at times. That's kind of the vibe that I get from this. Now, so you have this rock and psych stuff going, but underneath it you have this Latin percussion, and which just makes it really, really neat. It's like the Yardbirds and Santana getting together. You know, that's the kind of feel you get at times with this. All the songs are originals. At times they can be kind of spacey, which is all right. It's really fun. They had a hit off here, and it was called, it was only 6 songs too, but they start jamming. That Latin percussion gets going. Meshkalina. I mean, there's actually instrumentals. There's more than 6 songs. Just, yeah, there's 8 songs, but 2 are instrumentals. But Meshkalina was a hit in Peru. Probably not too big in the U.S. And on it, it's filled with these energetic grooves are happening. And this is where you really get this Yardbirds Santana type feel. You know, the gritty guitars of the Yardbirds with that Santana percussion. Simple was an interesting song. It was kind of, feels like late type Beatles, from the very late Beatles, kind of that feel. Because they were fans of the Beatles. Yellow Sea Days was another one that kind of stood out. It has a prog feel because they have all these flutes and time changes going on. My albums are falling down over here. Oh my God, I got a mess happening. And so these, again, kind of a proggier type thing, which, like, I'm an expert, right? Yeah, this is cool. Fun stuff. Something different. You know, it's just, there's so much cool music from all over the world. And it's happening in the 70s and 60s, and just trying to find some of these reissues is very, very neat. So here we have Traffic Sound, because where they were practicing up in an attic, there was a traffic light hanging down. They go, oh, we'll call ourselves Traffic Sound. Name of the album, Virgin. And I'm pretty sure you can find that out there if you're interested. into this. This was some VCLT. I'd shown this, and so I got a review coming on from Tice, Sound of Minder. Sound of Minder. He's, met up with him several times now. We will get together again. And this is one of the albums, which, that's kind of a creepy cover, isn't it? I mean, if you saw that coming down the street, you might go to the other side probably, and go, or take a picture, and then hope they don't kill you. But the name of the group is It's Immaterial. Different kind of name. It's Immaterial. They're out of Liverpool, formed in '80 and still going. I think they've only done 4 albums, but they're still happening. They don't show us broken up. And there we go, Siren label. That's kind of something different. And now I can't get it back in. So, again, nice. Oh, for God's sakes. Here we go. Let's just pull this out. And Vinyl Rituals, and just pull the damn thing out here. And I can't even get that back. I'm going to put this in the sleeve. Oh, come on here. There we go. All right. And we got a better drawing of that. And we have this. But there's more. Are you ready for this? It says on here, includes limited edition giant poster. Oh, yeah. Here it is. A limited edition giant poster. All right. Wow. Well, I don't know if it's giant necessarily, but it's still a big poster, and yeah. And it is a duo. The band started off with 4 people, and after a couple years, it was down to just 2 members. 3 of the members, when they started, were from a group called Yachts, which I can't tell you a thing about. But they had added a 4th member, but by '82, they were down to just 2 members, which you saw their pictures. Life's Harder and Then You Die came out in '86, and this was their first album. And it's kind of a cool title, Life's Harder and Then You Die. This is really filled with a lot of oddball hooks. I mean, it is different. This takes a few repeated listens, but the more you listen to it, the more, you go, okay, this is kind of cool. I mean, there's new wave in here, there's country, there's blues, there's folk, and some synth pop. It was like all this crap put together that shouldn't work, but it does. It just, when you're kind of like, oh, what should we do? Well, let's do one of these songs. Alrighty then, rip. And it's whatever, it works. And it just kind of blends in. A couple, there is like Sweet Life. Sweet Life was pretty neat. And it had these kind of these psych riffs that were happening in there that I really do enjoy, but yet there's a Spanish feel to the music, which made it very different. Festival Time was one that stood out just because it's weird, man. It erupts. It erupts into this chaos of these pulsating keys that were happening. Horns, just hard charging horns, but then there's samples of horses in there in operatic voices. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. There's a lot happening, man. But overall, this is pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and not bad at all. Tice had it. He goes, I think you might like this more than I'm going to like it. But he watches my channel, and Tice, yeah, you're right. It took a few. My first time, whoa. But, repeated listens, because before I do this, I don't have to repeat listen a lot. And so, very good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Why don't we cross the city limit and head on down the M62? It's only 39 miles and 45 minutes to Manchester, and that's my birthplace. Driving away from home, 30 miles or more.
Delta Blues. So this is neat. I found this. And actually, I did not get ripped off in the store by exorbitant prices. So that was even cooler, you know. This came out in 1966. Detroit Blues. I think it's a Delta. Detroit Blues from the early 1950s. Just kind of a neat historical record type album. You know, the African Americans in Detroit. By 1910, there was 5,400. By 1986, there was 35,000. So Ford began paying $5 a day, and up they came. The Northern Migration. This just talks about some of the blues artists. The only one on here you really might know is John Lee Hooker. There is a Sonny Boy Williamson, but for the most part, these are people. Baby Boy Warren is on here. Dr. Ross, Bobo Jenkins, Eddie Kirkland. I've heard of him. L.C. Green, One String Sam, Brother Wilson. Most of them never made it. Hastings Street was Detroit's Maxwell Street, where a lot of these guys played, and by the 60s, they were all totally obscure. But this puts it all together for them. So, very cool. Blues, Detroit Blues. I do love the blues. It's just I haven't bought much, you know. You don't see a lot, or you got to find something you want.
You mistreat me all the time. Me mistreat her. You mistreat me all the time. And I told you that I love you, but you don't pay that no mind. Night like this, 10 below zero.
Final one. Kendall Stokes sent me this as VCLT, that rascal. And I listened to it. I did it. I listened to it. This came out in 1973 and is considered one of Donnie's best albums, like I would know. TC, I listened to it. Dang it. And yeah, on Amazon, you can buy this for $39.95 on Discogs for $1 or $2. So decide where you want to go. Yeah. Okay, now, what the best part about this, I mean, he had, I guess, a couple hits on here, 12th of Never and Young Love, but look at this. This is the Osmonds fan club letters, and Kathy Brooks was filling this out. She was 17 years old, Charlotte, North Carolina. Isn't that neat? So, Kathy, if you're watching, you didn't send it in. If you don't send it in, you don't get stuff. You got to send it in, man. But look, you get all this cool Donnie Osmond stuff. $3.25 for a shirt on here. Puzzle portrait, only $3. Osmond sweatshirt, $5. Wowzers. Giant poster, $2.25. Address book, $2.25. Is this a Mom's cookbook? Oh, cool. This is great. Okay, Kendall, this is the best part of this whole record. The music itself, it's a mix of ballads. He was allowed to have more of his choice of song selection on here. So there's some poppier stuff. He even does a Neil Sedaka song. Most everything is from Michael Lloyd Osmond wrote it, or Ellen Osmond wrote the song. So they got this stuff. And we have math equations going on. So I listened to it. I would keep it just for this. This is so freaking cool. I just love that stuff.
Don't think I can take it unless you can spend it with me, baby. Since I met you, I just can't get you out of my mind.
That's what we got this week, okay? Thanks for dropping by. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to having you next week. Check out my podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records. You can go on to YouTube station Radio Wasteland to see us talking, or you can listen to it on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, and Facebook. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Have yourself a great week. Bye.